Feeling overwhelmed? Drained? Like no matter how much effort you put in, you just can't seem to find that spark? You're not alone. Burnout has become an epidemic in our fast-paced world. Whether you're working long hours, managing a heavy academic load, or trying to juggle 1,000 responsibilities, burnout can creep up on you fast. But here's the thing. Burnout doesn't have to be the end of your motivation. It's not a dead end. In fact, it can be the beginning of something greater. In this video, I'm going to share with you powerful, practical strategies to not only beat burnout, but to reignite your passion, renew your focus, and stay motivated even in the toughest of times. Stay with me, because the next 15 minutes could change the way you live and work for the better. Let's start by breaking down what burnout actually is. You might have heard the term before, but it's often misunderstood. Burnout isn't just being tired or stressed after a long day. It's a state of chronic physical and emotional exhaustion, usually brought on by prolonged stress or overwork. It's that feeling of being completely depleted, unable to muster any energy or enthusiasm for the things you used to love. It can make you feel detached from your work, disconnected from your life, and even cause feelings of hopelessness. Sound familiar? Burnout doesn't discriminate. Whether you're a student, a professional, or even a stay-at-home parent, anyone can experience it. In fact, studies show that over 50% of people in the workforce experience burnout at some point. But here's the thing, burnout isn't a sign of weakness, and it's definitely not the end of the road. It's a signal that something needs to change. And that's exactly what we're going to focus on, how to turn things around. Let's talk about the most essential step in overcoming burnout: self-care. Now, I know self-care is a term that gets thrown around a lot these days, and you might be thinking, I don't have time for that. But hear me out. Self-care isn't just about pampering yourself with bubble baths or treating yourself to a nice meal. Real self-care is about preserving your energy, protecting your mental health, and taking intentional steps to recharge your mind and body. Think of it like this. If you're driving a car on an empty tank, you're not going to get very far, are you? The same goes for your body and mind. You can't keep running on empty. You need to refuel. Start with the basics: sleep, nutrition, and movement. It's simple, but it's foundational. If you're not getting enough quality sleep, it's going to be impossible to fight burnout. According to the National Sleep Foundation, adults need 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night to function at their best. So, prioritize your sleep. Create a nighttime routine that helps you wind down, whether that's reading a book, meditating, or dimming the lights an hour before bed. Nutrition is another key piece of the puzzle. When we're stressed or overworked, it's easy to reach for quick fixes like junk food or sugary snacks, but fueling your body with healthy foods can make a world of difference. Think whole grains, fruits, vegetables, and lean proteins. These foods provide sustained energy and improve your mood. And finally, move your body. You don't need to spend hours at the gym. Even a 30-minute walk outside can reduce stress, boost your endorphins, and give you a fresh perspective. Exercise is one of the most effective natural remedies for burnout, so make it a regular part of your routine. The next step in overcoming burnout is learning to set boundaries. This is a tough one for a lot of people, especially if you're used to saying yes to everything and everyone. But here's the thing, constantly taking on more than you can handle is a fast track to burnout. You need to protect your energy by setting clear boundaries. It's okay to say no sometimes. In fact, it's necessary. If you're feeling stretched too thin at work, talk to your boss about delegating tasks or adjusting your workload. If your social calendar is overwhelming you, it's okay to take a rain check and carve out some time for yourself. Here's a quick tip set: non-negotiable self-care appointments. These are blocks of time in your schedule where you prioritize yourself, whether it's taking a walk, reading a book, or simply sitting in silence. Treat these appointments like you would a meeting with your boss. You wouldn't cancel on them, so don't cancel on yourself. Setting boundaries isn't just about protecting your time, it's about respecting your own limits and understanding that you can't pour from an empty cup. By setting healthy boundaries, You're giving yourself the space to recharge and return to your responsibilities with renewed energy. One of the reasons burnout can feel so overwhelming is that we often focus on things we can't control. We get caught up in worrying about deadlines, the expectations of others, or even events happening in the world around us. But here's a reality check. You can't control everything, and that's okay. Instead of trying to manage the uncontrollable, shift your focus to what you control. This is one of the most powerful mindset shifts you can make when it comes to overcoming burnout. Start by organizing your day in a way that feels manageable. Break larger tasks into smaller, more actionable steps. When you accomplish even a small task, it gives you a sense of achievement that can build momentum. It's all about progress, not perfection. A great way to manage this is to prioritize your tasks. Ask yourself, what's the one thing I need to get done today? Focus on that. If you can complete one important task each day, you'll feel more productive and less overwhelmed. And here's a bonus tip, delegate, where you can. If there are tasks that don't absolutely require your attention, let someone else handle them. You don't have to carry the entire load on your own. I want to take a quick break to hear from you. Burnout can look different for everyone, and I'd love to know, what does burnout feel like for you? Is it emotional exhaustion, a lack of motivation, or maybe even physical fatigue? Drop a comment below and let's start a conversation. Sharing your experience might help someone else feel less alone, and we're all in this together. One of the most important steps in overcoming burnout is reconnecting with your why. When burnout sets in, it's easy to lose sight of why you started something in the first place. You might find yourself asking, what's the point? But that's when you need to take a step back and rediscover your purpose. Your why is the driving force behind everything you do. It's what gets you out of bed in the morning and gives your work and life meaning. When you're feeling burned out, it's easy to forget that purpose, but it's still there, waiting for you to reconnect with it. So how do you rediscover your why? Start by reflecting on what matters most to you. Grab a notebook and write down 3 things that bring you joy or fulfillment. Maybe it's helping others, creating something meaningful, or simply spending time with your loved ones. Whatever it is, focus on that. Align your actions with your core values, and you'll find that motivation naturally begins to return. If you're struggling to pinpoint your why, try asking yourself some questions. What excited you about your work or life in the past? What impact do you want to make? What small actions can you take each day to get closer to your purpose? Remember, your why is your fuel, and when you're clear on it, burnout starts to lose its grip. One of the most effective tools in fighting burnout is mindfulness. Mindfulness is all about being present in the moment without judgment. It's about accepting your thoughts and feelings as they are, rather than trying to push them away or fight them. Mindfulness doesn't have to be complicated. Even just a few minutes of deep breathing or meditation each day can help reduce stress, improve focus, and enhance your emotional resilience. The next time you feel overwhelmed, take a few deep breaths. Close your eyes, focus on the sensation of your breath, and let go of the tension in your body. It's a simple yet powerful way to reset. Mindfulness also helps you break the cycle of chronic stress. When you practice mindfulness, you're training your brain to let go of worries about the past or future and focus on the present moment. This can help you respond to stress in a healthier way and prevent burnout from taking hold. You can also incorporate mindfulness into your daily routine by simply being more present in whatever you're doing. Whether you're eating, working, or spending time with loved ones, try to focus fully on the experience. This can help you feel more grounded and reduce feelings of overwhelm. Sometimes burnout is a result of our environment. If you're constantly surrounded by negativity, whether that's from people, work, or even social media, it's going to wear you down. That's why it's so important to surround yourself with positive influences. Find people who uplift you, inspire you, and motivate you to be your best self. This could be friends, family, colleagues, or even an online community. Their positive energy can help recharge your own motivation and remind you of what's important. Remember, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So, choose wisely. If you're constantly around people who drain you or bring you down, it's time to re-evaluate those relationships. Seek out those who support your growth and encourage your well-being. Positivity isn't just about the people you're around either. It's also about the content you consume. Be mindful of what you're watching, reading, and listening to. Fill your mind with uplifting and motivational content and notice how it impacts your mood and energy. Finally, let's talk about the importance of taking breaks. We live in a culture that glorifies the hustle, but constant hustle without rest is a recipe for burnout. If you're always going full speed, eventually you're going to hit a wall. Taking breaks is not a sign of weakness. It's a crucial part of staying productive and motivated. Whether it's a 5-minute breather during your workday or a weekend getaway, stepping away from your responsibilities allows your mind to rest and reset. Try incorporating short breaks into your day. For example, after working for 90 minutes, take a 10-minute walk, stretch, or just close your eyes and breathe. You'll come back to your work feeling refreshed and more focused. And when it comes to technology, don't be afraid to disconnect. Social media, emails, and constant notifications can contribute to feelings of burnout. Set boundaries with your devices. Turn off notifications when you need to focus, and consider having tech-free times during your day or week. Your mind needs time to rest from the constant stimulation. Remember, burnout is a signal, not a sign of failure. It's your mind and body's way of telling you that something needs to change. By prioritizing self-care, setting boundaries, and reconnecting with your purpose, you can overcome burnout and rediscover your motivation. If you found this video helpful, please hit that button and don't forget for more tips on personal growth, motivation, and living your best life. And if you're currently battling burnout, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your story and how you're working through it. Together we can overcome burnout and thrive.